Hola y bienvenidos a la presentación de los verbos que usan los complementos indirectos. All right, what did I just say? Basically, you're going to learn about those verbs that work like the verb gustar. They're not like normal verbs. So let's see how these work. And we have done these before, so this shouldn't be anything new. So on your note sheet, you'll see the very top, it talks about how many verbs that use indirect object pronouns right up here, such as aburrir, which we learned last chapter, right? We can also use this as an indirect object pronoun type verb like gustar. We could say, me aburren las películas románticas, which would mean that romantic movies bore me. Or we can say, me duele la cabeza. My head hurts. We can also say parecer, which is to seem. That allows you to give an opinion about something. Me parece aburrida la clase de inglés. We would never say, me parece aburrida la clase de español. ¿Correcto? Sí. The next one is fascinar. Me fascinan las películas de acción. So that would just be saying that action movies fascinate me. I could ask you the question, ¿te fascinan las películas de acción? And you would either say, sí, me fascinan, or no, no me fascinan. Next one is molestar. We got this back in that childhood chapter, and we talked about what things bothered us. So let's say if your brother or your sister bothered you when you were young, you might say, me molestaba mucho mi hermano, or me molestaba mucho mi hermana. And the last one that we're going to look at is the verb importar. Importar means to be important or to matter to somebody, such as your grades. So if you want to say grades matter to me, me importan las notas. So notice how we made the verb importar. We made that plural because it's the grades that are plural. I'm not plural. It's the grades that are conjugated with the verb. So grades matter to me. So let's look at the construction. All those verbs we just looked at use the exact same construction as the verb gustar. So we have the indirect object pronoun, such as le, and don't worry about it, you're going to get a grid of all those indirect object pronouns so you know what they are. And then you have the verb after that, which is encantan in this model sentence. And then you have the subject, and that's the thing that is being liked. So he loves action movies. Le encantan las películas de acción. So the le right here, le can mean he, it can mean she, it can mean you, formal. So how would we know who le refers to? Le does not actually mean he. It just means to him, or it means to her, or it means to you, formal. Let's see how we can do this. Look at the bottom here. You can use the a plus a noun or a pronoun with these verbs for emphasis or to make something clear. So this first one here is making clear that it is Rodrigo that likes violent movies. On your sheet you have Rodrigo likes flowers, but I thought I'd change it up a little bit. A Rodrigo le gustan las películas violentas. So películas violentas is plural, which is why we made the verb plural, gustan. We didn't say gusta because he likes all violent movies, not just one violent movie. Or we can say a él le gustan las flores. And by just putting a él next to the le, we're emphasizing that he really likes flowers, because it is assumed that we already know who that le is. We're just emphasizing it with the a-l. All right, let's move on. So here are the indirect object pronouns. I bet you guys can get these in about 5 seconds. So all these are object pronouns. These are what we use for emphasis in a sentence. They just emphasize or clarify who is doing the liking or to whom something seems a certain way or who is bored. So those would be me, and I'm sure you wrote them down by now, and te, Le, nos, os, and les. So those are the indirect object pronouns that you are going to use with these verbs. But be careful. Don't start using this with all the other verbs that you know. You know, like hablar, comer, vivir, all those verbs that you conjugate in the yo form or the to form. These are totally different. You don't conjugate them with the person. You conjugate them with, again, what's being liked. So let's do some practica. Write the questions using the elements given and the indirect object pronouns. The indirect object pronoun is not given to you. You need to put that in to ask the people about their entertainment preferences. And then you're going to follow the model. So the first one is a Juan. Well, a Juan is like saying a él. So we're going to use the le. A Juan le molestan las películas de horror. The reason why this verb is going to be plural is because our subject's not the person, it's whatever's being liked or whatever is bothering somebody is what the subject is. So that's why that is going to be plural. So what you can do here is you can pause it to do your practice and I'll just tell you the answers. So just be sure to pause it because I'm going to be saying the answers and showing them right away. A ustedes interesar los actores. A ustedes les interesan los actores. Muy bien. Número 3. Be sure to pause it. A Steven Spielberg le importa la ciencia ficción. 4. Pause it. A los criminales les fascinan las películas de acción. So notice the verb is plural because movies is plural. 5. A mí me parecen tristes los dramas. Even though I'm one person, I make the verb plural because it's the dramas that make me sad or that seem sad to me. All right, now it's time for you to get out your guided practice workbook and start on your GP pages. Buena suerte. Adios.